and welcome to Tracy Momi Reads. I am back again with another video. Final Friday of September. Here we are again. Heading into official fall months, last quarter of the year, the holiday season, and I'm just always so shocked and not prepared. Anyway, today what I'm going to do is I am going to reintroduce myself. I've had a lot of new followers since just this year, and I don't think I've done one of these this year at all. And I don't even know last time I did one last year. But in addition to doing a quick reintroduction, I'm going to give you guys kind of in-depth tour of my bookshelves today. So my name is Tracy Momi, hence the name of my channel, Tracy Momi Reads. My channel, although it seems kind of simplistic based on my name and then I read books, but it was really based on a hashtag that I started on Instagram that I have hundreds of books on there. So if you're looking for a book rec from a while back, or maybe books that I haven't talked about on the channel, you can go to Instagram to hashtag Tracy Momi Reads and you can find some more of my content. I am a Gen Xer and I am in the Houston, Texas area. I have been reading books, oh my God, most of my life. I mean, the first time I think I really got serious about reading is when I picked up a copy of, my uncle had a copy of Alice Walker's The Color Purple, and this was like in '83. So this was the actual original, he just got it from a bookstore, type situation. And I read that. And I don't even know prior to that, outside of picking up a Judy Blume or something, like if we went to the library at school or something like that, that was probably the, my first introduction to books. But where I read a book that I remembered and wanted more, that was one of the first books. Back in the 90s, I was a part of a book club. Shout out to the now defunct Afterthoughts Book Club, where I met some incredible ladies. A lot of them I still keep in touch with. And that was at the height of a lot of Black authors writing in the urban contemporary fiction lane, like Terry McMillan. She had a few books out by then, but Eric Jerome Dickey was pretty new on the scene. Lolita Files. There was a Virginia DeBerry and Donna Grant, or I may have their names mixed up, but they were a writing duo. A lot of those books, you'll see them when we look at the shelves here in a minute. But yeah, we would meet once a month, and somebody in the group, one of the members, would host it at their homes. And I want to say at one point we may have had upwards of 15 to 20 women, all women, all Black women in that group. And it was an amazing time. And that just really strengthened my love for books. And it has just continued from there. Early on, I will say that my favorite genre was romance, right? It was the romance genre. The majority of the books I read were by Black authors, which was, that was kind of hard back in the day because, there weren't nearly as many as there are now, Black authors writing. So everything by Eric Jerome Dickey that came out, everything by Terry McMillan, Lolita Files, I read all of those books because those were the only books that I was consuming. And those were the only books also, that we read in the group to discuss. Quick sidebar here, when I feel it sounds like a common phrase a lot of times if you've watched a lot of my videos and I go off on a tangent and then I'll say back to the book, because it makes sense and you probably have heard that before. But it actually, where it originates for me, we had a book club meeting and we had invited a guest. And if you've ever been in a book club, let me tell you something. Most book clubs, I would say, consist of maybe 30% talking about the book, 70% socializing, catching up on life, and things like that. And this lady, I guess she was frustrated with us keep getting off topic or whatever. And she like, back to the book. Needless to say, she was never invited back because you don't come into our book club telling us how to, how to run things or whatever. So anyway, I always think about that whenever I say it. I'm like, back to the book, real as sarcastic as I possibly can. Let's see, what else about me? I am a true-blooded Taurus the Bull. I do believe in some of the characteristics of the zodiac, and I feel like, I really fit the bull to a T. I am an author. I've mentioned that in some of my videos, but I don't know if everybody really caught that. But I am an author, and I do have currently 7 books in the marketplace. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to my website at tracymomey.com. I'm also on Amazon, and the majority of the books I write are in the romance genre. I did try my hand at a suspense thriller, hardest thing I've ever done, but it was well received. I think after the book club that I was in disbanded, I started reading more books by different authors. And I think one of the first books I read, it was a book by Mitch Albom. And I just started reading more stories outside of maybe what I was familiar with or had knowledge of. And I think that it has broadened my scope as not only a reader, but also a writer, because at the end of the day, I think stories, when you get lost in these stories, they help you find yourself and find a way to be more empathetic with the world around you. I also have been, like, as you can tell, I've always been a book girl, right? I've always okay, I need a book, an actual book. But obviously, as over the years, as technology has changed, I have fallen in love, number one, with my Kindle. This is my little decorated case. I have always had a Fire. This is the only Kindle I've ever had. I think this is my 4th one. It's very convenient reading on the Kindle. I probably have done full-on audiobooks, maybe 2 in my life. Every now and then I do have an assistive reader on my phone. So let's say if I'm washing dishes or if I'm going for a walk, I'll listen or let the phone read the book to me. But I don't have a what is it? I can't even think of the big audio book. Audible. I don't have an Audible account. Sometimes the Kindle Unlimited, because I do have that, they have the audio free with the book, and I've listened to that. But I'm not even going to get into the whole thing about listening to books versus reading books and what's reading and what's not. If you get the story, you get the story. But for me personally, I don't think audiobooks or listening to a book will ever replace seeing actual words on a page. And for me, it has just strengthened my vocabulary. It has helped me a lot with writing. Because a lot of times if you're hearing something, you can kind of contextualize what they mean. But when you're reading, you're going to stumble over something until okay, how do I say this? What is this? What are they talking about? And that's been my experience. So enough of that. So yeah, you can go back and look at some of my other videos to learn any more about me. The few things, traveling, love to travel, have been to so many different countries and cities. I've been to a lot of countries outside the United States, a lot of cities and states within the United States. I love popcorn, and that's going to be the death of me. I know it. Yeah, movie time with my family, whether we're watching movies at home or if we go out. So yeah, if you want to learn anything else about me, you can kind of go through the archives and see some of the, get to know the booktuber things that I've had. So yeah, we're going to move on because I already feel like I've rambled enough and this video is going to get too long and I do want to get to the shelves. So let's do a quick tour, okay? First, before we get to the shelves, I'm going to show y'all, and I think I've done this. I did this in another video. That's my setup. You can see this thing is crooked. Sometimes my videos, I'll notice after the fact that it wasn't on there right. I think I'm probably due for another one. I think that'll be my 3rd one. But I just have a tripod. I stick my phone here, and bam, I start recording. And I have a chair from the kitchen or whatever. So the setup is so very, very basic, but also extremely functional. If I had to do too much, I don't know that I could, I would continue to do the channel because I don't want it to get too cumbersome. I see people always have like the fancy little microphones and all that. I don't know, I mean, that I need it unless somebody tells me in the comments, oh, I can barely hear you or your audio sucks. So anyway, every summer, me and my kids, we do art day where we paint things on canvas. And I was doing a collection of owls at one point. And then there at the top is like all of my books that I've written. I did like a book stack of my titles. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, and you'll probably see some more on the shelves. So speaking of, we're gonna, let's do this the right way. I'm gonna back out, moving all the stuff out the way. Okay, so first of all, wait, let's go over here in the corner. So I do have a little side table here with the lamp that I got from Home Goods. We got the Alexa because she might come on if we say something, a little Amazon thing. One of my favorite coffee table books. This print came out of an Oprah magazine. It's just a magazine page that I had framed. The table came from Walmart. And I will tell you, all the furniture in here, this is like all at least 5 years old. So I don't know if they still have some of this stuff as I tell you where it came from or not. Some books I need to put up, little blankets, curtains. It took me forever to find curtains for this room because I wanted something a little whimsical, and I got these off of Amazon because this is blue and it matches the chairs and the wall paint that I decided to go with. This used to be a dining room area like right at the front of our house that we never used. So the chair rail my husband had installed when it was a dining room. In the bottom, it was a burgundy color, if you can believe that. It was very dark. So my daughter and I painted it. And yeah, got this real nice blue. These chairs, there's a set of chairs, some pillows here. They came from Wayfair. Yeah, the chairs came from Wayfair, and it has also bought a little poof off of Amazon to act as a little ottoman. I definitely need to get something bigger. Had a rug on the floor. It's in the process of being cleaned because we also have a dog. So the rug is not on the floor at the filming of this video. Let's go up here. That is another print that I got out of a book. It's a picture of a girl reading a book, and I just framed it. I hope this isn't too weird, the way that I'm angling this camera, but I'm not as tall as my shelves, which again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. So as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves, and there were supposed to be 5. I had ordered like 3 of these skinny ones. These are the Billy bookcases from IKEA, and it was like taking so long for it to come, and they kept being on back order, and these are the only ones they had. So I was like, you know what, forget it. Let's just put these in. So at some point I may get the third one because it was supposed to be the skinny, the wide, the skinny, the wide, the skinny over there. And we just, worked with what we had, and they're anchored to the wall at the top. My husband anchored them. And he also, like, this is a piece of like decorative, I guess, molding that he got from Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere. And he just used the nail gun and attached them to make it, look more uniform, because without this, there's a gap here because these are all individual shelves, but that kind of makes it, look like one unit. There's just so much flexibility with these Billy bookshelves. You can move these shelves. I mean, I think because we have this molding here now, we've kind of messed that up, but you can see like the holes or whatever, and then like, you can move them around. So very flexible, very inexpensive. Yeah, so like I said, it was a few years, about 5 years back that I got these, and I know that they are constantly on back order because so many people are, use these. Yeah, got some little embellishments that came from Five Below. I was trying to see if look at that. See, there's a Eric Jerome Dickey book that I've had forever. I don't know if this is the one that is autographed or not, because I used to go see him all the time whenever he came to Houston, and yeah, this one is autographed. So I think I have all of his like books that he wrote back in the 90s. And this one actually looks like he signed in 2001. So yeah, let's see. Another fun fact about me, huge Prince fan. Still can't believe he's not here. But my son got me this for Christmas one year. These are some random flowers from a thing that my sister gave me for my birthday. Let's see, and look, Ginger Snaps. That's a book that I had from the 90s by Dolores Welch Tyson. This is a Funko Pop of me. Tracy Bowman reads it. I have my book in my hand and my laptop for writing. Some just other different little things. I think those came from some home store that's not even around anymore. I have a couple of candles, the Dear Book Hoarder, just because it says that on it. I ordered that offline. I'm mad about the Book Loft, though. I got that from Bath and Body Works, and now they have one where it's books on the thing that says Book Loft. What? Y'all should have did that at first before I got mine. This is a recent addition to my bookshelf. I got this off of Amazon, and I'm not even going to recommend the place where I got mine from because it took 30 days for me to get this. The day that I was going to cancel it, it arrived in the mail. But it's a little thing where you can track how many books you've read this year, and that's where I am currently. And it comes with like little numbers to change it. I had to buy these like command strips or whatever they're called from the store because it came with suction cups. But because of the material of this bookshelf, it's like a laminate or a particle board or whatever, it didn't stick. So I had to get creative, and I got that. And as you can tell, my shelf is arranged. Okay, I'm blurring out here. It is arranged by color. And a lot of people are like, how do you know where books are? It's weird because since it's been like this for 5 years, I do know, like, if I'm looking for a book, I'm like, oh, yeah, that spine is green. Oh, yeah, that spine is yellow. So you adapt to whatever processes you set in place simply because I stay repping my Zodiac. This came from Home Goods, and it's a bull, obviously. Let's see. I thought this was cute. I'm always seeing like little bookish stuff online, and I'll order it. It's like a, remember the old school cards that you put in the back of library books, but it has like my family's name and our birth dates on it. These are my grandparents, my mom's mother and father. So yeah, I love that picture of them. These postcards, well, you know, Princess on top, but there's like a lot of Black celebrities, singers, entertainers, and performers. I got these like at Barnes & Noble years ago, and I think they were like selling them. They were in this bin, and they were like 25 cents or 75 cents or something. I was like, what, are you kidding me? So I got all of them. That's my son's collection of Harry Potter books. I have never read a single Harry Potter book. I have watched a couple of the movies, though. That's another painting I did on one of our art days. Another magazine, like, thing that I got of a magazine photo. Another painting. And, yeah, that's a thing I got from Amazon of somebody reading in that circle. Let's see, what other things we have here. I wanted to show y'all some more of the books. Oh, yeah, here's another 90s book, Caught Up in the Rapture by Shanika Jackson. I've talked about it, so I'm not going to try to avoid it. I was a twihard for a hot second. Yeah, another magazine. No, this isn't a magazine thing. I actually got this print off of Etsy. I did get that off of Etsy. It was a Terry McMillan book. Another candle up there. I have a thing here, and look at that. It still says September. I'm horrible about changing this because you gotta like, it's like 3 pieces. It's not the most effective thing. I think I'm gonna get something different. Maybe something where all I have to do is flip them instead of, you know, taking everything out. Here's my TBR corner for books to be read. I'm so proud of myself because I have gotten this down. It was stacked on like both sides. My little Lego typewriter that I put together. First time I put a Lego together by myself. I was about to pick up something to show you guys. Oh, I bought these lights, and I'm probably gonna put them up like around Christmas, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, every time I see something that I feel like I can use for my bookshelf or that's cute or bookish related, I pick it up. These book lights were on sale at Barnes & Noble. It's just, you know, they have the string lights. Well, these are string lights, but they're books on them. So I thought that was cute. And who knows, maybe they'll sit in the corner for a while. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to reading over here is Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby. So yeah, I'm gonna stop here so that this video isn't like an hour long or whatever, but that's just at a glance my bookshelf. And I'm probably going to rearrange it because you see I have all the tchotchke stuff at the bottom. I think I need to even it out, but I don't want to mess up the way the books are color coded. But I feel like there's too much stuff down at the bottom. So I don't know. We'll do something. So yeah, so that's my bookshelf. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully the little Q&A, well, not even Q&A, the little information I gave you at the front of the video, looking at the things on my shelves, kind of gave you a little bit more insight to me as a reader and as a person. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like this video, and thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Those of you who have shared my content, I sincerely appreciate it. I love getting on here, ranting and rambling about the books that I've read. I try to tell my family, but it just don't hit the same. Thank you guys so much. If you have not already subscribed, go ahead and take the opportunity to do so now and turn on that post notification bell. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.